This is, oh my God, I've never seen
Unbelievable.
second year anniversary main event. Flex.
What is going on here?
Anniversary.
He's not gonna.
Oh, he drops him like a bad habit. 1, 2, 3, it's over.
Did you see him rapping?
Oh, he's wrapping him in.
Don't tell his face.
But it's over. Joso just wrapping him in bubble wrap. And he's going to pop it on him.
Don Tony and
He's gonna-
Lover, the victor.
Your winners, Jay Lover, Left Daddy Flex, and Don Tony!
What a match. What a main event. Hardcore to the fullest. DPW can do it. We've got it all here.
Every Thursday night, you ask the questions, DT gives you his answers. No holds barred.
It's Q&A with Don Tony. This is your chance to speak your mind and be heard about anything.
Q&A with Don Tony. And now, your host, Don Tony. Don Tony. Don Tony.
Is anybody gonna take this tonight, or do we sell it? Do we sell it? Remember, these are the authentic, they're not ring-worn, Eric Bischoff NWO tights. Never saw him wear it, by the way. Nobody seems to want it. I thought that would be an interesting item, even if you throw it up on eBay and get $2 for it. What's up, everybody? I know no Goodfellas intro tonight. I forgot to upload it. I'm not going to kid you. This is legit. I fell asleep tonight at around 6:30. Extremely tired. Tomorrow between 7:30 and 9:30, I have a mattress firm coming to my house, putting in a new mattress, putting in a new adjustable frame, the one that goes like this. It doesn't go fast, so I couldn't do like an Aleister Black, because if I'm laying in the bed, it would be like, it's not fast. But I'll snap a couple of photos. Definitely need one. Not getting good sleep at all. So going to try to end this as quickly as possible tonight. We have the contest. And again, if nobody chooses this tonight, I have somebody willing to purchase it, so I will sell it. And look, you want cash, moolah, we could do the wheel instead. I don't want anybody to feel forced. You got to take the Bischoff tights. You're not insulting me, trust me. But what's going on, everyone? Oh, we got to put a couple of shout-outs online. King of Hueco, Austin Nance, Stephen Cormier, Harris B. Stephen, did I pronounce it right? Cormier? Michael Gonzalez, One Fall, Danielson, Harris, and it goes on and on and on. Guardian of Chaos, Lion. Hope everybody's doing great tonight. AEW rating came in. 1,090,000. Good number. Well deserved. Well deserved. I personally think and I know I said it yesterday, but I'll add to it, I wish they would have had no commercial interruptions during that main event. I think you would have gotten even more viewers because you didn't give them any reason to turn away. Like I said, when those commercial breaks came on, I raced in here to set up the show. And even when Tully Blanchard stole the keys, you didn't hear that play-by-play. So if I would have ran in here and they're like, what's Tully doing? And he's opened it, I would have ran right back in and watched it even from. I'm not saying that they lost any big viewers because of commercials, but kind of broke up the flow. I've always compared it to foreplay. It's like you're getting in the mood, you're hanging out and everything. You start, just teasing around. and then the phone rings. And then you get back into it, and then the phone rings. That's what the commercial breaks feel like for me when I'm in the middle of a great match. That's why I hated when WWE used to do like WrestleMania highlights or matches of the year, and they would add like lots of commercial breaks to pay-per-view matches. I'm like, this just doesn't feel the same. I know it's nitpicking, and I understand why they have to have the advertisers, but man, I think that would have brought it on a whole new level yesterday if they didn't have any commercials during that main event. That's something that Tony Khan should really try to push the next time around. I mean, granted, blood and guts match would run close to an hour when you just add up, the amount of time it takes just to get the 10 members in the ring. But, phenomenal match. Shout out to Crazy Cruiserweight. Now, and you know what? I know that the color is a little shangada. I always have to like mess around with these colors a little bit. Let me see if I could fix this for Crazy. That's a little bit better. I always feel like the print, when I put the chat room on the screen, the print is a little bit too bright or too dark. So I try to make the best of it, and I don't really get the chance to see it in real time until you actually super chat, unless I send myself super chats before we go live just to test it out. Cruiserweight wants to apologize as there was only one half of Indus here with Jinder Mahal on main event. Cruiserweight, if you're going to super chat me apologies, please screw up even more. I'm not kidding. Screw up even more, my friend. It's all good. Absolutely. Didn't you kind of like make a mistake last week also? Weren't you the ones that said that Tessa Blanchard was in NXT with the Diamond Mind? I think you need to super chat an apology. I'm kidding. Did you see today? Now the news comes out. Meltzer says AEW is not negotiating with Tessa Blanchard. These people have no idea. They have no clue. If it wasn't for Ring of Honor or MLW, you could pretty much roll the dice. 50-50 chance of getting it right. AEW or WWE. Tessa Blanchard, despite the controversy, is borderline elite talent. Shouldn't stay out there this long. So we will see what happens. And the other taller wrestler was someone called Dilsher Shanky. I will check it out. I will definitely look into Dilsher Shanky. I already started checking out a little bit of Julia Hart as far as the bio. That was the wrestler that took on Britt Baker yesterday. Very early in her career. Pretty much a squash. And now when I see more, I understand why. But look, early in the career, obviously it happens to anyone. Now, you saw the teaser at the beginning of the show. One of the very few matches that yours truly has ever been in, I'm going to show you highlights tonight. I got a lot of emails over the last month since I teased it 3 months ago. My God, it's already been 3 months since I aired the original teaser. Like, when are you going to ever show us, like, the actual matches? So I decided to show you highlights of it today. It's not the full match, but how long is this? Let me see how long this clip is. This clip is 7 minutes. All right, so you get 7 minutes of highlights tonight of the match. So you actually see yours truly. Look, in matches, I'm 3-0 in my career. No joke. And this is 1,000% legit because I talked about it on the Minority Report back then. In 2008, when I had 3 matches, Pro Wrestling Illustrated actually sent me an email and said, look, are you interested in being in the PWI Top 500? I said, no, that's okay. I could only imagine the haters out there that would have just lost their shit if they would have saw Don Tony in the PWI Top 500. Here's a legit fact. PWI, really the top 100 or the top 50 are really the numbers that matter. Once you get past 100, it's just random. It's just random. But I'll be honest with you. I mean, now as I get older and I've had a lot of backstabbers, and I still have backstabbers now. I look back on that, and I'm like, yo, Don Tony, you got to be a selfish prick 24/7, 365. Obviously, selfish could be of an advantage for all of you as members of my family, which is what you are. But I didn't do it in 2008 because I thought it was the right thing to do. I didn't deserve it. I would have gotten ripped alive. Now looking back, I'm like, fuck, I should have done it. I should have done it. I mean, could you, but you know what? Those that follow me for all of these years since, could you imagine how many times I would have posted that screenshot? So maybe it was a good thing that I didn't do that. So Roger Rubio, what's up, my brother? Thank you. Thank you very much, my friend. He sent in a super chat as well. You know, I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of people out there that owe me some apologies. He apologizes for Crazy Cruiserweight. Anybody else want to apologize for Crazy? Look, today's show is very down to earth. It's your show. Obviously, they're all your show. But tonight, I pretty much sit back. I relax. Whatever is on your mind that you want me to talk about, I will talk about. Now, right now, it's 10:19 p.m. I really would love to finish this show tonight by 11:30 because I'm going to be back here tomorrow night. SmackDown recap, AEW NXT quarter-hour ratings, a couple other news tidbits as well. So there's no reason why we can't pick up this conversation tomorrow. Only because I got to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and get ready for this mattress place because I got to like clear some areas. I got to mop my floor. And trust me, I'm going to have pain in the ass customers like, why aren't you at your office? So checking out the chat room. Yes, Michael, I did sign up for Streamlabs. I'm not going to lie. I just haven't had time. I set up for Streamlabs. I use vMix for my podcasting software. And I got to be honest, I'm very comfortable with it. I know all the other podcasters out there from Jason to JD and others, they all use OBS. And people have been telling me repeatedly, dude, Streamlabs OBS. I see, the little graphics and the things that they put on the screen. And trust me, there is so much WrestleCrap of yours truly that I can make little GIF files of and do it. I just, with everything going on and doing literally 6 shows a week, and a lot of you have been asking me to do an afternoon show, even if it's just a half an hour, and I'm really trying to, I'm doing it. I'm just trying to figure out what day of the week would be good. Don't worry about burnout, because when we have casual conversation, I mean, how do you get burned out for that? A lot of this is like riding a bike. When you do it this long, it's like riding a bike. And this is fun. I know that there's people out there that unless other people do everything for them, you'll never see them do something on their own. Me, I like to make the sausage. I like to be the one to handle the whole, wow. I know I'm getting old because what came to mind, the whole kit and caboodle. I don't think in my entire lifetime I've ever said to someone, he's got the whole kit and caboodle. What the f does that mean, man? Crazy Cruiserweight with more apologies. Please. I have not forgiven you yet. Where do I rank Jim Cornette as a pro wrestling historian? Top 5 or top 10? Cruiserweight, please DM me after the show. What shirt are we talking about? So DM me your info again so I can look it up, because no joke, everybody has gotten their stuff. Everybody, I think. Well, actually, you know what? No. If it was from the Pro Wrestling Tee store, I got an alert yesterday that a shirt was shipped out. I have a feeling that might be yours, because I'm up to date with everybody. It might take me a couple of days to get things done, but no, I think I'm up to date. But DM me anyway so I can go check it out. What's going on, Nate? But to answer your question, about Jim Cornette. I don't know what you mean by historian. Hear me out. I know what historian means. Are you asking me more about managing or just as far as wrestling knowledge? I will answer both, because I don't want you to super chat to clarify that. But this is a great question. As far as managers go, seriously, it's not just how great you do around the ring and you're animated and how you sell the reality part of it, but it's also, mic ability, especially if you're the mic piece for some of your talents that don't really speak all that well, psychology, just really trying to stay in character, and some people may even say live the gimmick. I truthfully believe, and I'm not just saying this. I'm not just saying this because when you think about it, we got Gary Hart, you got Lou Albano, Grand Wizard, Paul E. Dangerously. I mean, there's tons of managers over the years. Bobby Heenan, Paul Bearer, and it goes on and on and on. I will tell you, he is definitely in the top 10 of greatest managers of all time. Without question. Top 5 is really cutting it close. I know a lot of people really, really appreciated Gary Hart, even though he didn't get the mainstream exposure, maybe of Jim Cornette and some others. But, obviously I put Bobby Heenan at the top of the list. I loved Paulie Dangerously, even though, if you actually add up the years, as the advocate of Brock Lesnar, I kind of put that aside because Paulie Dangerously and Paul Heyman are two different people as far as characters out there. But, as far as just the overall career, Paul Heyman's got to be on that list. For me, Bobby Heenan will always be number 1. I think Jim Cornette, there's a rightful argument for him to be in the top 5. I know Jim Cornette ruffles a lot of feathers. I overall I'm not as much of a hater of Jim Cornette like I used to be. If anybody goes back to my Breakfast with Blassie years, do you remember part of my intro? When Jim Cornette's wife when Jim Cornette dies, when Jim Cornette's wife dies, I hope they dedicate her brain to science, because I don't know who with half a brain would marry someone like Jim Cornette. I don't remember the exact, it wasn't as harsh as what I'm saying now, but it was just like, who in their right mind would marry Jim Cornette? And I know in recent years we've heard a lot of promiscuous stories regarding, hey, if that floats their boat, so what? It's not my style, and if anybody ever that I dated offered that style, you're out on the street. But I don't compare, Jim Cornette's controversy. I don't take that as take it away from his managerial career. I mean, the guy is one of the best talkers on the mic as far as managers in history. So I think top 5, very, very possible. Jimmy Hart, arguably in the top 5 as well. I don't like to use people who've only been managing 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You want, people who've been out there for decades. I mean, Jimmy Hart, I think, has to be up there as well. Put it this way, I would put Jimmy Hart above Jim Cornette. But Jim Cornette, without a doubt, top 10. Now, I will tell you this. Even though, and let me also say this, I understand Jim Cornette's his mindset and what he does online. Jim Cornette is a fisherman, and Jim Cornette feeds and reels in people, and he sparks controversy sometimes. Look, the comment on the NWA, even though I heard him say it 5, 6 times in his career, it's still inappropriate. But some of the topics he discusses on his YouTube, it's a gimmick. And people take some of his shit to heart like it's gospel. And Cornette just reels them in. And just, Cornette knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly who his audience is. That's why Jim Cornette, when he gets into old school and he talks about history and, you know, him getting in the business and some of his early experiences, it's usually separate than what he does on the podcast where he gets controversial for today's news. Unless people send in questions, then he will bring up old school topics. But when he tells stories, for the most part, and I say this as a compliment, this son of a bitch is spot on. When he gets into specific years and he's throwing out there 84, 81, 85, 88, this, you know, sometimes I go check it out and I'm like, you know, wow, he just nails it every time. Some people out there get the years, you know, like you get a year or two mixed up. That happens to anybody. But there's some people that, you know, make a mistake by 5 to 10 years. So Jim Cornette definitely, without a doubt, in top 10. Not only, you know, his speaking, historian, you know, talking classic wrestling, but also as a manager. So without a doubt, I agree with that. Shout out to Nate. Thoughts on how Karrion Kross will be adapted for Raw and SmackDown? I really don't know. I talked about this yesterday, and obviously you all know Karrion Kross is a friend of the family. And I don't gush. I appreciate, thrilled, love it, extra special. I don't gush. If I see something that I don't like or something that just doesn't seem like it clicks, I talk about it. In fact, I don't know if you all saw this. I don't know if I have it handy. Karrion Kross. Let me see if I have it. I don't think I do, though. Yeah, I have it in my folder labeled conceded. I'm joking, obviously, but he showed a lot of love to yours truly. And one of the things that he said is that I tell it straight up. I don't beat around the bush. I don't talk soft just to make, you know, satisfy people out there. I speak my mind, even if it's criticism. And he said, you know, he likes people like that. And, you know, one of the best and nicest compliments I ever received. Yeah, I don't have it handy right now. And that pisses me off because usually I find everything. I'll check one more folder. Oh, this would be great if I could find it. Oh, it might be here. Look, I found it. Always got to be persistent. And I know some of you out there are going to be like, oh, God, here he goes again. But, you know, to me, this means a lot. So I'm going to just share. It's only a minute and a half long. And, yes, he does reference my former co-host as well, because obviously this was filmed before, you know, we stopped doing shows. But this is a little comment from Karrion Kross. Pretty cool.
I appreciate you as a fan. I don't ever mean to seem redundant when I am speaking to fans, but I always think it's proper and respectful to show that gratitude back. I'm glad you're enjoying the new and improved, updated presentation. The stuff you're seeing on TV right now has been stuff I wanted to do for a very long time. On my side, as a performer, as a pro wrestler, sports entertainer, I have to pick and choose when would be the most appropriate time to show you guys new things. And I'm really glad that it's being received so well. Don Tony and Kevin Castle, here's a funny story for you. Not many people know this, although it's probably not going to be shocking to you. I was a fan of that show before I even had anything to do with this industry or this business. I used to listen to their show all the time, and I have to tell you, it was, I've had a lot of surreal experiences, but probably one of the biggest ones was one day putting on the show and hearing them talk about me, because, I mean, I had been listening to them for like a very, very, very long time, prior to being a form of discussion. So that was pretty weird, in a good way, obviously. Love those guys. I haven't met them in person, but I've chatted with them before, and my favorite thing about those two guys is they're very real. They'll just tell it to you like it is, and I think people like that are important in the world, because I think sometimes we, from a social standpoint, we get too overly concerned with wanting everybody to like us, and I think you can lose yourself doing that. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to appease everybody in the room. Maybe the people you want to like you, you might not even like them, and those two guys are not worried about that, and I like people like that. Great show. Like those guys. I look forward to meeting them. Look forward to meeting you too.
Yeah, and I will be meeting Karrion Kross either this year or by early next year. We had every intention on going to Florida last year. COVID hit, obviously. But yeah, I know some of you are like, oh, DT's got to put himself over. Well, what do you think tonight's show is? It's Q&A, you and I. And that kind of is a cool thing to hear, you know? I don't change my style simply because someone likes what I do. And, you know, I brought this up many times before. I exchange a lot of DMs with a lot of people that you see on TV. And most of them are usually like, hey, man, keep up the good work. Eye on the prize, eye on the prize. Focus, focus. Don't let the outside noise get to you, you know. And a lot of people that check out the shows, and I enjoy it. What I loved about what he said, not just a compliment, but there's been a few times since that you'll see some of these blue check marks and say, like, who's some of your favorite podcasters? And he'll always name drop yours truly. Always name drop it. And that's awesome. And he doesn't care if people like, that fucking guy, out of all the that guy. So, you know, and the reason why I play that is not to be conceited or anything like that. That feels good. And it gives me incentive to always be real with all of you out there. Look, you see some podcasters out there that become a character. They become a gimmick. And there's, you know, something that they always will go on. And that obviously gets them more viewers. I brought up Eva Marie as a great example. Eva Marie is back. All right? She ain't going to take up 2 hours of every Raw. Her segment is going to be so short. And yet, people out there, everybody with a thumbnail with Eva Marie. You know, the woman that everybody hates, but everybody made a fucking thumbnail about it. Why? For attention. Using Eva Marie to get hits. Then you got the White Knights that do the opposite, that will write 19 different tweets or posts about Eva Marie. Someone who hasn't been in wrestling in 4 or 5 years. We don't know what training she's been doing. All right. We don't know if she's put it together or not. We don't even know what exactly WWE has plans for her to do. We don't know. So what did I say last week? I'm going to have an open mind, sit back and see what happens. You know, that's being real, and that's boring. So, but these other people use it as the focal point to get hits and get noticed on their shows. Now, I'm not interested in that. I'd rather sacrifice viewers that tune in simply because of, you know, something that, no, I'd rather just be real about it. Now, what you were saying about Karrion Kross and Raw and SmackDown, the problem with Karrion Kross right now, and I mentioned this Wednesday, is that we don't know what his identity is yet. We don't know. I mean, a lot of us kind of feel like he's a tweener. To us, we kind of look at him as a tweener. But what I mentioned, even on Patreon Tuesday, is, I'm sorry for repeating myself from yesterday, his entrance music hits. He comes out. It's one of the coolest entrances in wrestling. And WWE pipes in crazy-ass boos. Piped in loads of boos Wednesday through their soundboard. And again, you don't hear a lot of those soundboard clips in the arena. if that was the case, when you hear some wrestlers, why do you think like Bailey could hear what Michael Cole is saying or some others when you have, all this piped in shit? You wouldn't be able to hear it. And sometimes WWE has the soundboard mic off or the main channel like very low, and you could hear a little bit of echoing when they're talking, and then you realize that in the arena there's nowhere near the noise that how it's portrayed at home. So you have Karrion Kross coming out Wednesday. They pipe in a lot of boos, and Karrion Kross with the mic acknowledging the fans, which was a cool thing to do. But that's not what a heel does. And him acknowledging the fans chanting TikTok, and then you bring out a babyface, a heel, a babyface. He's attacked by two heels. So if they want him to be a tweener, then why pipe in all the boos? Why pipe in all the boos? It's a phenomenal entrance. Just let the live fans in attendance dictate it. So I think before Karrion Kross is ever considered for Raw or SmackDown, WWE has to establish his identity. He is the NXT Heavyweight Champion. He looked great on Wednesday. It was a little bit odd to see what happened with Finn Balor, which we talked about yesterday, but none of that was his fault at all whatsoever. So you have to determine his identity, establish it. Once you establish it, then you could say, okay, I could see him going after this person. Oh, if he went to Raw, I could see him going after this person. You don't start picking fantasy matches simply because you think two people would work together. If he is going to be a tweener and WWE treats him like a tweener, then yes. I think right now, seriously, I think WWE is unsure. I feel like they're undecided how to go as far as Karrion Kross. Do they go to babyface route? Do they go to heel route? I don't know if they go to tweener route. I mean, how many people in NXT would you really say was a tweener? The Undisputed Era ultimately turned babyface, and for a little while, people were confused. Are they heels? Are they babyface? Are they heels? Are they babyface? Because WWE and NXT never really clarified it. But then you saw them go in a particular direction when Pat McAfee came in and the confrontation with Adam Cole. So you could see exactly where they were going. So they have to do that with Karrion Kross. And that will come in time. That will definitely come in time. I mean, you look over the years, WWE rarely ever has a character that becomes a heavyweight champion and you don't know what their identity is. So his injury obviously derailed that, but they have enough confidence in him to hold that title. So now we need to establish a little bit of an identity. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it, Herbert. He said, excellent analogy with the Eva Marie stuff. It reels people in, spot on, even the Jim Cornette stuff. I'm a little surprised with the Jim Cornette stuff, how gullible some people are. That Jim Cornette, understand this, Jim Cornette is old school. It's obvious when you hear what he says about AEW and, Joey Ryan stuff before, all the accusations came out. Jim Cornette is old school. Jim Cornette treats wrestling as old school. Jim Cornette went to NWA because he felt that they were taking wrestling and being respectful about it. Jim Cornette will always be an old school guy. Just like some of the older wrestlers out there that don't approve of the level of women's wrestling on TV. It's not really sexist. It's just they were brought up in a different era where women were looked more of like eye candy and special attractions. And, it is what it is. There's no evil animosity towards women in some of the older wrestlers' eyes. That's just the era they came from. So Jim Cornette, being old school, when he talks about stuff, he keeps it old school. And he stays in character whenever he's in public, 24/7, 365. And that's why when the NWA, when he made that Ethiopia comment again, and obviously it turned into a mess. But the people that know him, that truly know him personally, they said, this guy's not racist in any way, shape, or form. This was more about hunger than about black. And the thing is that that's because they have the privilege of knowing Jim Cornette in a way that we have never seen. And these people just get reeled in thinking that everything, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. That's why if you see like Matt Hardy and others that ultimately confront Jim Cornette, what do they always say? Oh, keep feeding your viewers. You're exactly what your viewers want. They get it. They know exactly what the deal is. And it's amazing to see some people fall for it, and people you wouldn't expect to fall for it. So, Dayhawk, for someone like him who's never dated before, we switched the conversation. What do I recommend? Also, what advice can I give him overall in terms of dating? I don't know if dating is for him. Well, let me tell you this. I think a lot of you out there are going to agree with me on this. Then maybe we'll play some footage. Me, I'm not this dating machine. All right? And I know a lot of you out there are the same way. One thing I think we could all agree on is if you push the issue of trying to find someone, I mean really push it, chances are you're not going to find someone or you're going to find the wrong person. I got married in 1999 and I got the marriage annulled 6 months later. I had to pay off my church. I had to do all this stuff. Divorce was not enough for me. I wanted this woman erased from my memory. I wanted to find one of those Men in Black things and just completely forget about this woman. Now, how I met her was a really weird story. And look, I'll only spend a couple of moments on this. Very quickly, I had my car accident in 97. I was in a wheelchair for 9 months, couldn't walk, broke my hip, broke my pelvis, shattered my ankle, still have pain to this day because of it. And I was home, and I was lonely. And I looked into my proverbial little black book to call one of my ex-girlfriends just to see what she was doing, maybe hook up, whatever. And I called her house. I had not talked to her in about 5 years, and she wasn't home. Her sister was. Her sister was there. So I get on the phone with her sister, and I'm like, hey, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And, I told her about the accident, we were this and that. So she's like, my baby is crying. Hold on a second. Talk to my friend. She puts the phone on with some other girl I never met before, nothing. Didn't know what she looked like or nothing. I ended up marrying her. How weird is that? No bullshit. I got on the phone with her. We talked for about 10, 15 minutes. Something just clicked. And it wasn't like, okay, this guy's in a wheelchair and he wants to get laid at any cost. We hung out and we actually just clicked. I ended up marrying her. Now, honestly, biggest mistake I ever did in my life, probably other than my car accident, but that's the truth. So the point is, when you least expect it, it'll come. If you want to check out eHarmony, eHarmony is not bad. I know a lot of people who got married because of eHarmony. I don't know what their setup is these days. I don't know if they give you free trials, but I will tell you this, and this is my honest advice. I seriously, I think my best advice to you is check out eHarmony before anything else. If you go on Match, I don't know what Match is these days, but 15 years ago, Match, or 10 years ago, Match was pretty much, not to the level what Tinder is, but Match, they would just pair you up with anybody. If you were a heterosexual male, they paired you up with every female possible. If you were male and you were gay, they would pair you up with every male possible. But with eHarmony, I'm just going to prepare you. And this is why I never really like pursued a lot of these things. They ask you like 500 questions about yourself. No one is impressed with your answers. So if it says, what's your idea of a Saturday night? You don't have to play Mr. Macho Man and say, oh, I would do this and do that. Oh, yeah. Nobody gives a shit there. It goes into a computer. Nobody would laugh at you. So you answer the questions correctly and see what it matches up with and go from there. You know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That would be my honest advice. You know why I say do that too? Even if there's a trial where you don't have to pay for it. And in fact, I say that to everyone out there that may be interested. I know it's a pain in the ass to spend 2 hours answering questions, but if you want to pair up with someone that has a lot of similarities as you, a lot of things in common, the more you're honest, the more of a chance you're going to get a match that is best for you. And when you get the results back, you look at the results, you look at the people, you look at that, and even if none of them interest you, what you're getting back in front of you is what experts, based on your profile and the hundreds of questions you answered, they're telling you, this is who we feel is best for you. Now you get to see not what you fantasized, not what people online told you, not people you DM'd with. You now see experts telling you, this is the type of person we think you're looking for, and see how you feel about that. That would be my best advice. Seriously, best advice I could give you. And I'm no expert with any of this stuff, but I will tell you that's the best advice I could give you. And I truthfully believe, fuck it, I'll tell it. I don't care. I met my fiance on eHarmony. Never told it before. I teased it on Patreon a couple of times. Never told it before. I went on eHarmony. This is true. I'll be very quick with this. I went on eHarmony 2012, about 6 months before Superstorm Sandy. And I answered all the crazy questions. The first time I started answering, I'm like, fuck this. I'm not answering this shit. You know, but then I was like, let me see what happens. And the funniest thing is, God should strike me dead if I'm lying. After I answered all the questions and it gave me results, like the next day I started looking, one of the girls that popped up was like a friend of a friend of a friend. And I was like, oh my God, I hope to God she did not get me as a result on her thing, because I did not want that floating around that, you know, I was on this thing. So anyway, long story short, my fiance now popped up in the results. And look, I mean, I'm not going to put the picture up close, but she's a very beautiful woman. She's beautiful. And, you know, I read her profile and I was very intimidated. I'm like, fuck this. She didn't want to do with me. So I ignored it. She sent me a message giving me a compliment about my dog, because you know how we all are. We put a picture of our dog in the picture as well. My dog was still with us at the time. I took a picture with me and my dog, and she complimented me about my dog. I didn't answer back. She sent me another message, and she's like, you know, what's the matter? You don't want to talk to me? So I didn't answer her back a second time. And then the third time, she's like, well, I guess, you know, you're not interested. Good luck in this and that. And I felt bad for not answering back. The reason why I didn't answer back is like, you know, I got no shot with that. So I answered her back, and I'm like, look, you know, I apologize, this and that. One thing led to another. Now we're engaged. Sam says the dog got us together. I never revealed that before, because back in when I first did that, I felt kind of embarrassed that I needed a service to do it. I didn't really need the service, but the point is that I spent all the time answering all the questions honestly. And that came back and said she would be best for me. And look where it is. We're now 9 years later. So that would be my advice to you. That would be my advice to you. So fly. Did I have any interaction with New Jack when I was around ECW or XPW? If so, how is he? He seems like exactly who he is. For the long-time listeners, they're like, oh, God. Oh, God. So fly, why did you do that? All right. Quick answer. I talked to New Jack many times in my lifetime. I have podcast episodes streaming on Patreon now of myself, the Masked Maniac, and New Jack doing shows together. I actually bailed New Jack out of jail once. I know some of you out there, see, Michael Gonzalez is like, what did you do, so fly? Damn you! But no, Michael, I'm giving the unpainful answer today. I actually bailed him out of jail once. And is it okay for me to tell the ECW story really quick? True story. You could ask him too, he'll tell you it's true. And in fact, I even talked about it on a podcast with him. So maybe I'll stream it here one day soon. When I had my car accident in 96, my ex was not a wrestling fan. She knew that I wanted to go to ECW school. She knew I was into wrestling. She wrote a letter to ECW. She wrote a letter to WWE. She wrote a letter to WCW. And she told them about my car accident. It almost killed me and everything else. And I didn't know about it. And she's like, look, he's wheelchair bound right now and this and that. I was never supposed to walk again. And she said, if you could send something that would feel good. Rob Van Dam sends me an autographed photo and a letter. This was when him and Sorrel, I think her name was, just got married. And he was saying like, oh, marriage is a wonderful thing, this and that. And I got a few other things as well. And I'm in my office. Swear to God, I'm in my office. This is 2000, because this was about 8 months after my accident. I'm in my office and my phone rings. I answered the phone. Hello, can I help you? This is Anthony. I'm like, yes, can I help you? New Jack. New Jack. And then I was like, oh, that New Jack. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why are you calling? And he's like, I got your letter. And by now I knew about the letter because I started getting autographs. So he laughed because I thought you were a little kid. He thought I was a little kid that got into a bad car accident. I'm like, no, I'm in my 20s and this and that. Blah, blah, blah. So we had a fun conversation. And I had done my hotline. I started doing my hotline at that time. And I said, one day I'm going to pay this guy back for calling me up. Guy was so fucking cool on the phone. So when he got a warrant out for his arrest, I think in Florida or something, and he ended up in jail, his girlfriend at the time put up an eBay auction that if the winner of the auction, because the money was going to be used to bail New Jack out of jail, and the money from the auction would go to that, and in return, New Jack would call you and this and that. So I said, here's my opportunity to finally pay the guy back. So I went on eBay, I won the auction, I told his girlfriend, I said, tell him he doesn't need to call, but tell him, it's from me, and I always remembered what he did for me in 1997. That's why, back in the day, you had Sean the Mick and all those people online that kept saying New Jack called, de Blasi, Don Tony called New Jack the N-word. That people just kept writing because they couldn't stand a cool story like that. And then when I was doing that little storyline with Low Life Louie in USA Pro Wrestling, I actually was going to have something done with New Jack, which was sabotaged. So I interacted with New Jack a lot. And probably the funniest part of all of this, and it's still on my Facebook page, my personal one, I should screenshot it and show you all. A couple of years ago, it's got to be like 6-7 years now, because I haven't talked to the Masked Maniac in about 6-7 years. But he was doing a show in Florida, and I was going to go to Florida to manage. And I was going to manage someone who was going to wrestle New Jack. Somehow it got mixed up. This was when New Jack first announced he was going to retire. And somehow the information got screwed up. And New Jack thought he was going to face me. So my telephone rings at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't answer it. And it calls back twice. And I fucking wake up and I'm like, who's calling me? And it was Mitch. I'm like, hello. He's like, you got to go on your Facebook page now. So I go on my, oh, by the way, Mitch is okay. He had some computer issues Monday, but he's got some health issues as well. He's going for a whole battery of tests tomorrow, but he's doing okay. He and I did almost a 3-hour show on Patreon Tuesday, but he wholeheartedly apologized to everyone out there. He will apologize to you himself on Monday, but thank God, he's okay. So Mitch calls me up and he's like, you got to go on your Facebook page right now. And my first thought was people are spamming it. I go on the Facebook page and there's 2 posts there from New Jack. Now keep in mind, my personal Facebook page is my friends, my family, my personal friends, my family, and that's pretty much it. There was only like 2 or 3 people online that had access to my Facebook page. I think Mitch is the only person other than my personal private life that is still part of that page. So here I could imagine my family and friends waking up to New Jack writing on my page, you fat fuck, you motherfucker, I'm going to retire. I swear to fucking God, Frank, if you're going to fucking put me against this inexperienced fat, I'm going to slice him on this. And I was like, I'm not wrestling him. So now I'm like, how do I get in touch with this guy? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. My sleep, that's it. No more sleep for the night. I go and I replied. I'm like, no. It's not supposed to be me. I'm supposed to manage someone. All he wrote back was, LOL, my bad. He flipped out, threatening me this and that. And when I told him, no, I'm supposed to manage someone, he just wrote, LOL, my bad. When he was dating Terry Reynolds, I have the podcast. If you all want to hear it, I'll play it for you maybe next week or the week after. When he was dating Terry Reynolds, and he took pictures of Terry Reynolds covered in blood. Not from a wrestling event, from inside her house, covered in blood. On this podcast, he is bribing me. He's like, yo, you got to put these pictures online. I'll send them to you right now. You got to put them online. He didn't want to be the one to take the fall for it. Now, at the time I was friendly with Dawn Marie, I defended her with the Wrestlers Rescue stuff, and Dawn Marie was very good friends with Terry Reynolds. So when the podcast floated around, I got a couple of emails. They're like, you're not going to really do this, are you? And I'm like, no. But he wanted me to be the one to post all the photos of Terry Reynolds covered in blood. So I'll put them online. I'll be more than happy to. See, that's the thing, man. I know some people are ultimate haters of yours truly, and I think it's because they can't tell these stories that I can. And the difference is I have proof to back it up. So I do have proof of that. But, yeah, so I've had some experience with New Jack over the years. And, yeah, all that is true. And I'm leaving things out as well. There's other things also that is just not escaping me. But I will tell you this. With the exception of that 3 a.m., Facebook post, all my interaction with New Jack has always been awesome. Guy is funny, likable. Obviously, you learn, you don't cross him. And, I never had any issues with the guy. I always laughed my ass off. Again, some of you who have been on Patreon have heard the clips. The guy's a pisser. I can't say anything whatsoever bad about the guy. I know about the controversies and that. You know, it's weird because of what happened with him and Vic Rhymes. You know, and at one point I was friendly with Vic Rhymes. Hung out with him, XPW events, talked to him on the phone. I mean, I still remember to this day him literally laying on my hotel bed, and we were just talking about, you know, I used to sell this video on eBay that would be like, you know, a couple of women like Chastity and Live Bait and the Beulah Penthouse video, and you know, we even put Kimona's strip on the top of the ECW arena, even though there was no nudity. And, you know, I was trying to, pick his brain about the New Jack stuff. And, you know, that's just like really awkward stuff. I mean, you know, shit like that gets way too real, you know, and you realize you got to tread water very, very lightly when you talk about certain topics. But I will never forget that guy, Chris Cash. Chris Cash is the one that first posted my shows when I started doing what was podcasting in 2003, before podcasting was even a thing. And this guy went and interviewed New Jack. If you don't know that story, Google it. Chris Cash, we knew quite well. And Chris Cash told New Jack before they did the show, listen, while we're doing the show, I'm going to call you the N-word. Like he wanted it to be an angle. And New Jack just killed this guy. Destroyed, not physically, but verbally just. And he talked about it on our podcast. So I have that audio also when he talked about Chris Cash. So, yeah, I'll share some Captain Lenny next week. I wasn't going to show any footage of yours truly today with the wrestling stuff, but over the last 2 weeks, there was quite a few of you who DM'd me and saying, you know, we want to see like you actually in a match, you know, and I have 3 of them. So I said, all right, you know, I'll put it on this week. So, no, Chris Cash was not Kid Cash. Kid Cash was a wrestler. Chris Cash was some college student who did a lot of wrestling interviews back in the day. And I always remember he used to walk around his school showing everyone that he had Steve Austin's phone number in his phone. He had Eric Bischoff's phone number in his phone. Chris Cash actually did a lot of wrestling podcast stuff back in the day. Very, I don't want to say a big name, but a very recognizable name back in the day. I don't know whatever happened to him. You know, I have some early Minority Report episodes because he, for those that don't know, back in 2003, Chris Cash had a website called fantalklive.com. Chris Cash, I got to give him credit for this because he foresaw what podcasts could be. What Chris Cash would do is he would charge you, I don't know what it was, $30 a month, $50 a month. I don't remember how much it was. But he would open up the channel so you can do a show online. He would record it, and then he would send you the file, and then he would also have it playing on fantalklive.com. So that was before podcasts were even a thing. So for about 6 months, myself, Joey 924, and others, we did the Minority Report, and we moved the hotline to the net, and we would call up Chris Cash. He would record us, host it, and put it online. So he was the gateway for us being able to do stuff online. Now, our audio quality was shit because we were all on a telephone. This was before mixers and everything else. So he had probably about 15 different shows on his network. So he was collecting quite a bit of cash at that time, hosting shows. And at one point, Mitch and I talked about doing that. We actually were going to create a network, and we were going to host, you know, people out there that didn't want to use Blog Talk Radio or some of these awful places, you know, because like I said, there's a lot of people out there that will, you know, want to be a podcast superstar and yet don't even know the basics on how to do a pod. They need everyone to hold their hand for everything. There's a lot of people out there like that. And Mitch and I thought, wow, we could probably make some serious money if we handled the recording, the editing, posted online. It's just that we realized we want to focus on our own stuff, not other people's stuff. So, yeah. That's so Chris Cash was pretty big back then. So, Jordy, I don't know why your post didn't come up, unless maybe you said a couple of words that are censored over here. Matt Zombie Harris, I'm not going to lie to you, I think he's deceased. Brian Damage is still online. Brian Damage still does wrestling columns. The reason why I don't talk much about Brian Damage anymore is because when Timmy Arson died, the ECW Zombie, who is a personal friend of ours, when he died, I had this gigantic floral display done. He was part of my hotline, the Black Hearts Sports Entertainment Hotline. It was myself, Matt Zombie, Brian Damage, Timmy Arson. And when he died, I had a florist make up playing cards that had black roses, and it would be a royal flush, all hearts, but black roses for the Black Hearts. It cost a lot of money. Brian said he was going to chip in. I think Keith Blackheart said he was going to chip in, and nobody chipped in anything. I don't regret it because Timmy was a close friend. But ever since then, I was like, okay, I don't do free rides anymore. I realized, pretty quickly that, stop doing shit for everybody else. Do it for yourself. And after that, I never talked to him again. But Matt Zombie, I hope he's alive and I hope he's okay. That guy was one controversial mofo. And health-wise, he wasn't in the greatest of health. Plus, he smoked like a maniac. If I put up some of the old Black Hearts hotline reports that we did 23 years ago, which I still have, you listen to him, you could just tell, he didn't sound like he was well. And, he lived in Brooklyn, hung out with him many times. The most infamous story, for those that don't know, since you like the stories, back in 1999, I think it was. What year did the Dudleys go to WWF? Was that 99? I think it was 99. Right before the Dudleys went to the WWF, Matt Zombie used to sell online $20 a pop copies of the Beulah porn. And I'm sorry for bringing it up because she's now a mother with children, and I don't want to, I'm not trying to rehash it to cause any controversy. I'm just telling you a story. Thank you, Corey Thomas, for the kind words. I appreciate that. And like I said, everything I say is 100% legit. Just about all of it could be proven. So, I'm not going to sit here and play Forrest Gump and lie. But I did not see Lone Wolf. I did not see Brian Pillman's Dark Side of the Ring yet. I am going to watch it tonight before I go to sleep. I know it was available on YouTube. I just didn't get a chance yet. I'm going to watch it tonight because I would definitely like to talk about it tomorrow. So yes, Dudley's, it was 99. And Mad Zombie was selling $20 online, copy of the Beulah porn. Now, for those that don't know about this video, some of you who are older or my age, this is going to bring back memories for you. Beulah McGillicuddy, before she got into wrestling, did a Penthouse video. And she used a toy, what was called a silver bullet. And it's a very, very steamy video. Now, does anybody out there remember the controversy about this video? In fact, if anybody out there posts the correct answer, your choice, any shirt, any Fed, any podcast, I don't care. Could be anything you want. Anybody remember the one thing about that Penthouse video that was so controversial that people tried to work around? Does anybody out there remember this? I'd be shocked to shit if somebody remembers what I'm talking about. Numerous generations, no. Not the bullet. There was one very important aspect about that video that people were very, very frustrated about. Nobody knows. Wow. That makes me feel old. All right, here's the truth. And trust me, I'm sure if you look hard enough online, you'd find the video. The controversy, no, there was nudity. It's not censored. The controversy about that video is that it didn't have any audio. So what some people were doing online is they were splicing in generic porn music. And you'd see like 3 different variations of this film, and the music was different on each one. And you could tell that it was spliced in. You didn't hear any groaning. Nothing. Somehow, Matt Zombie got his hands on the original recording with the correct audio. And I have it buried somewhere in a box. I still have it. And he was selling it online, $20 a pop. He started going to ECW events, and outside the building would sell the video $20 a pop. He sold bootlegs of other wrestlers, but he specifically sold the Beulah porn outside ECW events for $20 a pop. So, in 1999, I'm doing my hotline already for about 2 years, and we go to an ECW event at the Elks Lodge. Matt Zombie disappears. We don't know what happened to him. Disappeared. About maybe half an hour later, we see Matt Zombie in the hallway. If anybody remembers the Elks Lodge for ECW events, you go into that hallway and there's all the shirts and all the merchandise and everything, and you go into the arena. So we see him in the hallway area, and he looks white like a ghost. And he was already white, but he looked pale. And we're like, are you okay? He's like, I got to leave. I got to go. I'm like, are you okay? He says, no, I got to go. We find out later on that Tommy Dreamer had people on the lookout that if they saw Matt Zombie, to let him know. Tommy Dreamer pulls Matt Zombie in the bathroom. I don't remember if Bubba Ray Dudley was also in the bathroom, but pulls him in the bathroom and says, you're not selling this fucking video anymore. You're not selling this video anymore. Now, remember, I wasn't in the bathroom. So for all I know, Matt Zombie could have exaggerated some of this, but trust me, that night and to see how everything went down, I don't think this guy was lying. But they brought him in the bathroom and they told him basically, you're not selling these tapes anymore. And he left. And after that, he continued selling the tapes. True story. Absolutely true story. Yeah, see, Harris knows the story. I think Bubba Ray was in the bathroom again. I mean, I would never bring it up to him. And honestly, if I were all of you out there, I would not bring that up to Tommy Dreamer either. That would be ultimately disrespectful, because you're talking about a video that was done. I mean, my God, when you really think about it, that video was done almost 30 years ago. 30! Because she debuted in ECW, I think, in 1995. And this video was done, I would say, around 92, 93. So you're talking almost 30 years ago. Now, married, grown, children that are, got to be teens now. That's why when the first ever diva, you all know the story about the original diva search. The original Jamie Copey. Anybody remember Jamie Copey? If you want to see something interesting, you go on Wayback Machine. Go back to the time when Jamie Copey won the first, diva search the WWE did. And at that time, it was weird. I was getting access to all naked pictures of people that no one else had. On Discord, a couple of months ago, I streamed as a treat. No one had ever seen it before. All the foot fetish videos that Candice Michelle did. Back then, I had the scum of the scum in the adult world of film and pictures all contact me and say, like, hey, Don Tony, yeah, you want these photos? You want this? I'm the one that originally posted the Mickey Meat Hooks photos. I'm the originator of Mickey Meat Hooks. So Jamie Copey, she won the first Diva Search for WWE. And some guy from some X-rated magazine reaches out to me. He's like, you want something for your website? I'm like, sure. He sends me about 500 photos of Jamie Copey naked. No one had these. That's why I say, if you want a treat, if you think I'm lying, go back to the date when Jamie Copey won the Diva Search for WWE. Then you go on Wayback Machine, type in wrestling-news.com or wrestleguide.com, because I think that's what the site originally was. Go like a week or two after, and you will see that I posted all the photos. So I had them on, Charlie Conway doesn't know what I'm talking about, with Mickie James. I just sent Mitch the original magazine, sealed in the plastic. I'm sure it's opened by now. I got access to the nude photos of Mickie James, and we coined the phrase Mickey Meat Hooks because it was, to quote Mick Foley in that commercial a long time ago, beefy. I'll leave that to the imagination. I don't like bringing it up anymore because I really am a huge fan of Mickie James, and that was way, way, way before she ever became famous. And I think she probably regrets doing those photos. So especially when you're talking about a mom, I don't like bringing that up. But with Jamie Copey, when I put him online, suddenly my website became a success. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of felt guilty about it because it's like, I don't want people going on my site simply because I got naked pictures of her and Gail Kim and this all these people. Like, I want people to enjoy the site because of the work that I do. And Jamie Copey reached out to me and she's like, look, I'm getting out of modeling. I'm married. I have kids now. I don't want my kids to grow up and go on the internet and see that their mommy did nude photos. Would you please take them down? And I said, absolutely. I took them down. I put a little note online that she asked me to take them down, and I obviously respect her request, and they were never posted again. And I got a lot of hatred for that, but you got to be a human being and a real life person and not just a scumbag, hornball, so yeah, that's true. It's God honest truth. So there's a lot more about Don Tony than just doing YouTube videos. There's a lot of stories from yesteryear. And I tell you, I know I've said this before, but I realize now, family, that there's a lot of people out there that did not ever want me to focus on all of these stories ever again. Because now people realize that it's not just another podcaster. This is someone who actually did stuff, has interacted with people, had crazy stories. When I always told the story, I just happen to have it in front of me. I'm going to put it away tomorrow. But when I said I met Terry Funk, in 98 and, almost got arrested or a road rage incident. And here's Terry Funk sending me this saying, I had a great time with you in Philly. Stay out of jail. Now everybody's like, oh, fuck. He's got proof. When I always told the story of hanging out with him and Mick Foley having lunch and then coming home again to a road rage incident. Dude, I was on his shoot interview, but then they knew that I almost got arrested. And here's Terry Funk mailing to my house. Had a great time with you. Stay out of jail. Who does that? What wrestling legend on his own just says, I'm going to send him this photo, huh? You know how awesome that feels to just open up your mail and there's an envelope from Texas and you open it up and it's this? It's awesome, man. It's freaking awesome. VJ, I don't know why people have foot fetishes. I don't know. It's, it's, you got to ask someone who has it. In fact, you know what? I'm sure on YouTube there's got to be videos of people explaining why they have foot fetishes, I'm sure those pictures are still around online somewhere. You know what the weird thing about it is? I'll give you a little secret. True secret. My old website server is still online. That's why I always plug Wayback Machine. If you go on Wayback Machine and you type in my website, you'll see all of the months and the years from back in the day that it took snapshots. And a lot of the links still work because I had everything online. So if you go back to Wayback Machine, you can actually see a lot of what I'm talking about. My God, Maven Invaders is still online. If you go on Wayback Machine and you go to my website and you click on Maven Invaders, you could download it and play it right now. For those that don't know what the Maven Invaders was, I hated Maven. I did not like Maven at all. So just out of boredom, you remember Space Invaders, the video game? You just go back and forth, you shoot the aliens. I made my own Space Invaders game, but instead I used a picture of Maven instead of the aliens. And every time you would shoot it, instead of hearing an explosion, you'd hear the beginning of Tough Enough. It'd be like, it's still online. I made that son of a bitch, 15 years ago, maybe even more, 20 years ago? Maven Invaders. It's still online. He does a gardening show now. I hope he's okay. I don't dislike him anymore. Back in the day, I couldn't stand him. I actually made my own video game, Maven Invaders. So if you want to download it, like I said, it's still there. I played it actually about a month ago when I was checking to see if links still worked and everything. I was trying to see if there's any other lost episodes of some of the shows that I've done, because I have found about 10 lost episodes that for some reason didn't air when they aired. They're mostly between 2003 and 2005. Some of them are on Patreon. Some of them I'm going to be posting. I don't know if Mickie James regrets it, but I know it's certainly one thing she probably would not want brought up, and I certainly would not bring it up. Tyree Jones, what's going on, Tyree? Thank you for the super chat. What's up? Do I believe it's possible Sting turns on Darby eventually the way he keeps escorting him to the ring? I don't see it. I don't see it. I could see Darby Allin maybe turning on Sting down the line. I don't need you, old man. I could take care of myself. Like, I could see that as a possibility. It's just that AEW is very predictable, and AEW is very, they don't go against the grain all that much. You know what I mean? Like, when SCU teases that they're going to break up, they lose a match, they always want to have their last match against the Young Bucks, and then they confront the Young Bucks, and then the next week there's a four-way to determine who's going to fight the Young Bucks. I mean, you pretty much could have bet the house that SCU is going to win it. Like, some of the things they do are so predictable, and that's fine. That's fine. I just don't see Sting turning heel and turning on Darby Allin. My honest opinion, Sting is there to help elevate Darby Allin. Darby Allin has main evented a couple of Dynamites and has actually did decent numbers. Sting is to help push Darby Allin to another level. Now they're having Darby Allin kind of feud with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. If you're not aware of the history of Darby Allin and Ethan Page, go on YouTube. When Ethan Page made that comment Wednesday about, their history, there is a history. And I think it's from Evolve. Might have been from Evolve. Go check it out. Pretty interesting. But no, I don't see Sting doing that at all. Want to give a shout out to the family. Shout out to La Nostra Familia. These are the elite of the elite. Now, for my family members, my channel members, the Q&A that I'm doing this weekend for all of you, I think I'm doing it Saturday. I had forgotten that it's Mother's Day on Sunday, and obviously got to spend it with Mom. So I'll probably do the Q&A Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening, and I'll post it for all of you. So you have another day to post your questions there, or the voicemail if you want to do that. So it'll be posted. And I want to thank these great family members as well. So the old website, wrestling-news.com, which is still around. But if you go on Wayback Machine, you could see the old version of it. Or you could go to wrestleguide.com. Wrestle, Guide. Because I originally owned Wrestle Guide in 1997. And then eventually I got the rights to wrestling-news.com, and I transferred everything over from Wrestle Guide to wrestling-news.com. So, Steven, how much is it to join, to be a channel member? When you go to any of my videos here, you'll see a box that says join, $1.99. You know, I'm not trying to pull a money grab on anyone out there, but you sign up and you get the emojis. I post some retro stuff. We have the contests we do for the WWE pay-per-views. Might start doing them for AEW as well. So yeah, sign up. There's 3 different options, and I'm not trying to make anybody break the bank. And at the same time, we have some fun over there. So, you all want to see a little bit of Don Tony Wrestlecrap? Or you want to do the Who Am I contest first? We're doing, it feels like we've gone longer. It's only an hour and 20 minutes. It's only you want to do the contest now? So for my friends on Facebook or Twitter that are enjoying the show right now, hop on over to YouTube, because you have to be in the YouTube chat to take part in this contest. We are going to do Who Am I? Sam, I'm not stupid, Sam. Win the contest, then log off. That's all good. I'd do the same thing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a Who Am I contest. And I'm going to give you some clues of who this person is. All you have to do is tell me who this person is. I have a picture that if it comes down to it and people still cannot figure out who it is, I will put a picture on the screen as well. I personally think this will be answered very quickly. I will give you one hint. It is someone that you have seen on TV within the last couple of months. Could be as recent as this week. Could be 3 months ago. But it's someone that it could have been on MLW TV, NWA, AEW, NXT, or WWE. Would have been on one of those shows. And, someone that is not like a bullshit announcer or something like that. There's a big name. So it's not a small name. You would once you reveal who it is, you'd be like, oh, okay, all right. It is definitely not Seymour Butt Savage. I promise you that, Larry. So it's Who Am I? It's not Who Dat. Who Dat, I just post a picture. And we could do that. You want to just do Who Dat and not even do the clues? You want to do Who Dat? I'll leave it up to everybody live. We could do Who Am I, and I'll read your clues and see who guesses it. Or I could just do Who Dat and post the picture. And then if nobody gets it, then I can start giving you clues. So you tell me, Who Am I or Who Dat? Let's see. Do the clues. It's more fun. All right, so you know what I'll do? I'll do a hybrid of both. I will give you a couple of clues. I figured it out. I'll give you a couple of clues. Some that are little general, but it'll kind of focus on some of the names. Do not post your guess until I post a picture. How's that? I'll give you a couple of clues first. And then when I post a picture and I say, who dat? Then you post your answer. How's that? Is that fair? Is that fair? I'll read you, not all the clues, I'll read you a couple. So you start getting an idea of the age and who I'm talking, and then I'll post a photo. And as soon as I say, who dat? Then you post your guest. First person that gets it right will win. And again, you will get either the Bischoff tights autographed, or we have the money wheel. So I'll leave it up to you. So I do not post your guests yet because I'm just giving you a couple of tidbits about this person. So I've wrestled for 18 years. WCW was very interested in me back in 2000, but I turned it down. As a wrestler, I wrestled for Ring of Honor for several years, but the majority of my wrestling career was on the West Coast. At one time in my life, I actually auditioned to become, don't put guesses yet, I didn't post a photo. I'm not going to give you any more clues. If no one figures it out within 30 seconds of the picture, no, there's no buffering. Should be okay. I think we're all good. Your stream is lagging. Should be all right now. Let's see. Let's see. Are you okay now? I think a few people had some buffering. Let's see. Just everyone, I'm sorry for the audio only family out there. Let's just make sure. Okay, everybody says it's fine. All right, we're good? All right, we're good. So you got all the clues, all right? You got the clues. So now I'm going to post the picture, and within 30 seconds, if someone doesn't get it, then I'll give you a couple of more clues. So everyone, I'm going to post it. Get ready. I want you to tell me who dat. Who dat? Someone's going to get it right away. It's not hard. Who dat? Who dat? I've wrestled for 18 years. WCW was interested in me, and I turned it down in the year 2000. We got a winner. We got a winner. We have winners. We have winners. Some of the other clues, I've been NWA World Heavyweight Champion 5 times. I've been a wrestler, a manager, a trainer, a producer, and even an on-air authority figure. Harris B., you, sir, are the winner. The winner and the person we were talking about is, drumroll please, not Paul Heyman, but, yeah, Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce. So, Harris B., you are the winner, my friend. Something tells me, actually, I don't think you want the Bischoff tights, right? So, you know what I'll do? You know what I'll do? If you don't want the tights, I'll give the option, who came in second? Kavan, I think, came in second, right? Kavan Lewis, I'll give him the tights as a runner-up. But if Harris wants the tights, Harris could get the tights. Or if he wants the prize wheel, then I'll give the prize wheel to Harris, and I'll give the tights to Kavan if Kavan wants the tights. So this is all on Harris. So Harris, you could have the tights, or you could have the money wheel or the balls. Totally your call. So let's let Harris decide, and then we'll show a little Wrestlecrap. Let's see. DX Girl, it's Bischoff is a Hall of Famer now, and the NWO logo, it's sewn on. It's actually a pretty cool pair of tights. You put it in a little frame, you know. I mean, he was technically the leader of the NWO. So, Harris B., you got a choice. You could have the tights or you could have the money wheel. Totally your call. You let me know. Yeah, I know. He didn't wear the tights. I mean, this is actually a picture of him holding. Oh, by the way, you also get the picture of what I just showed you. You get the actual picture, so you have picture proof that he signed it. So let's see what Harris decides. No, Harris. Kavan has no choice. You have the choice. You could have the tights or you could have the cash. You're the one that won. So it shouldn't lag. I don't think there's any reason why it would lag because my connection's pretty solid. So, all right. So you know what? I'll reach out to Kavan, Harris. I'll reach out to Kavan. That son of a bitch disconnected as soon as the contest was over. No, I'm only kidding. I'll reach out to him and see what he says. All right. So my portable light that I don't ever use. Let's put it over there. Let's put this over here. You know, I hope you win something nice. You remember what happened last week, right? Alexis Rodriguez. He won $35. Mitch was on with me. And we were like, let's spin it one more time. And fucker hit 100. And Mitch after the show was like, why did you do that? I sent it out, and I think Alexis probably got it today. If he didn't get it today, he get it tomorrow. All right, so let's spin it. Whatever it adds up to. Yeah, that's right. You got that last week too. So let's see. Let's add it up. 2 spins, whatever it lands on. Good luck. Okay, $30. 30. Not bad. $30. Yeah, there's never a dud. I was always going to put like a dud on there, but you're kind enough to hang out this long. I want to give away something. So he's got $30 and one more spin. So 20. So you got 50. All right. So nice 50 spot. You know how to reach out to me, Harris. So that's the deal. We don't need the rules anymore. So, you want to have a good laugh and see a little wrestle crap of yours truly? I will share it with you. Why not? Let me put myself over here. I know the color is a little off, but that's all right. So some of you were asking me that you would like to see a little bit of yours truly. Now, do you remember this video? Let me see if you remember this.
Welcome to the 2nd year anniversary.
Let me see if I can fast forward this. Hold on.
For the celebrity.
All right, so
Place right now.
Yourself, this is not any story, and I have to let everybody know we weren't even going to say anything tonight, but I thought it was the appropriate thing.
This
to
is
do.
just to set it up.
I had a surprise that was going to come in tonight as a favor to me to take on Jay Static, basically take him out, and that was going to be Shark Boy.
Lone Wolf emailed me tonight so I could check it because I know I definitely took care of a few. The same Punch-Out one.
Unfortunately, Shark Boy lives in Dayton, Ohio, and for those who watch the Weather Channel, they got hit with a blizzard and he got snowed in over there and couldn't make it tonight.
Now, I know some of you saw this already. The only reason why I'm showing it to you again is, remember, I dislocated 2 of my fingers, and I hurt my shoulder pretty bad. This was earlier in the night, so I just wanted to set this up.
We didn't announce it because, things happen, but I promise everybody the next show, making his VPW debut, and if you accept him into this family, he will be here permanently. Shark Boy will be here.
All right,
Near, definitely next week.
Bringing him in. Shark Boy. I can't wait.
Now on to something a little bit more serious. You're making me feel better with those tits, but
What the?
last show, all serious, the last show, something happened to us that has never happened before. We got our asses kicked. And I'm not a wrestler, I'm not going to even pretend to be a wrestler. And the last thing that I said in this ring was that the next time I come here, that I was going to beat the pants, I have to say it nicely, out of Best Bodies, and I wasn't going to use a wrestling move. So tonight, it was supposed to be a tag team match. My 2 guys over here versus Joe So Atrocious and Saboteur. but I made an offer to VPW that they couldn't refuse, and I figured you would prefer that a little bit more. And that is tonight in this ring, Mac Daddy Flex, Jay Lover, and yours truly, versus Best Bodies, Atrocious, Saboteur, and Tony Ho. Tony Ho.
Hey, that's Tony Ho.
I forgot. No disqualification, street fight, anything goes.
Oh, anything goes.
So Best Bodies,
Oh my
let's go home like
goodness. That's just the way he likes it.
Why don't you come out here and accept the challenge to our faces and see if you want to fight us tonight?
Well, he accept the challenge. Well, Best Bodies is accepted. Oh, here's so delicious. Here's Tony Lowe, and there's the masculine Marvel. Sabotage. Oh,
Here, watch me. You'll see where I injured my shoulder. Watch right here. You'll see it. Watch right into the guardrail.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. What a bro. Oh, they ran right into the guardrail.
Broke the guardrail.
Oh my god.
I got a holy shit chant.
Look at Mac Daddy Black and Delicious going at it. We got Jay Love. Oh, who's this? It's the rest of the locker room clearing out. Wow. Oh, they just trying to help clear the ring. Maintain order. Look at all there's the head of security. Oh my
I was
goodness.
winded.
Wow, the chaos. They gotta hold it back. Look at that. Look at that. The bad blood between these two groups. Oh my god, Joseph is taking a DC Diamond.
See me holding my shoulder?
Oh my goodness. Tony Lowe. Delicious still going out with Flex. Chop Shaw's out there. Oh my god, Sabotage still going at it. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, where have you been? It's the second year anniversary. Oh my goodness. This match, it's just chaos.
Chaos indeed. Who's out there?
Oh, it's everyone. Best Bodies Inc. Don Tony's crew and security and the rest of the VPW locker room finally maintaining order. Wow. What a way to start our anniversary show. Wow, Tony Lowe's got to be held to the back. Oh, look at Jay Lover.
Yeah, I hurt my shoulder pretty good.
There's bad blood between these two.
Dislocated two of my fingers.
Wow.
They said that there was going to be a street fight like that.
A street fight, anything goes. They're still going at it. Anything's going right now. They should just have the fight. They should just ring the bell. Get it going. I can't wait. Don Tony's gonna step in the ring now. He is not a trainer.
Wrestlecrap.
He's a manager.
There's wrestling fights on right now.
He means
Wrestlecrap.
business.
All right, so you at least got the setup. So now for the first time ever airing, and this is just highlights, it's not the full match. The full match goes like 30 minutes. And obviously we're not going to spend 30 minutes playing it here. In the future, I'll be more than happy to put on the full version, but you get a good feel as far as what went down. Again, remember, yours truly was not good doing this stuff. So it's more of, looking back, laughing, a little chuckle, little wrestle crap. But, the fact that I had the opportunity and privilege to do some of this stuff, it's memories that are just flat out awesome. I hope I could do it again. It's really going to come down to if these, feds, want me to do stuff. And I still did not forget about Andrew's offer. Once we get to Florida, I will be managing a certain tag team for a match one night for a fed that is on TV. So trust me, when I say I'm going to take you up on an offer, eventually it'll happen. So, all right, so here you go. Like I said, it's only about 6 or 7 minutes. I just quickly put some highlights together just to give you an idea. I think you'll enjoy it. Trust me, before I die, you will see yours truly managing at least one match for a fed that's on TV. We'll see what happens. So, all right, enjoy.
The masculine Marvel Sabotage. The masculine Marvel Sabotage. Ultra sexy Joe So Delicious. And Tony Lowe. They are Best Bodies
again, remember, it's just highlights.
I don't know. Maybe they sleep on the bench press.
Yeah, I go to Massachusetts.
You saw Sabotage flexing earlier. He looks chiseled out of like clay or something.
Well, I'm not sure. Some people would say he's chiseled out of other lines. I'm not sure.
Chiseled out of cardboard or I heard he's not a fan of the girl. I don't know. I don't like him anyway. Look at him.
Yeah, rest in peace again, Joe So Delicious. Rest in peace.
Look at
Passed
Tony
away
Long.
way too early in life.
And their opponents, weighing in at 748 pounds,
The old WWF theme.
HB and the Bronx, Jay Lover, Mac Daddy Flex, and Don Tony.
Oh man, the HB, whatever you call it. And the BX.
I believe it's HBLC, but they don't want to put up with any BS. HB or
OCD, ADV. Uh-oh, they look ready for the street fight.
That's not how anyone has ADD.
And OCD?
I ran out of
ABC 1, 2, 3.
But let's get back to ringside.
Oh
My
God.
match!
Chaos here.
Don Tony's, they got a bag of treats.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness! Don Tony from Howard Beach.
I really do want to see his wrestling ability.
Look at
Yeah, I
all
wanted
the
to see my
toys.
wrestling ability too.
Oh! Was that a nut bowl? Oh!
Smashed him with glass.
Everything in the crowd. Hide your kids.
I got another holy shit chant, everyone. Go. Just watch the right of your
Don
screen.
Tony from Howard Beach.
I really do want to see his wrestling ability.
Watch there. Glass.
Look at all the toys. Oh! Was that a nut bowl? Oh! A splattering of everything in the crowd. Hide your kids. This is hardcore. Oh!
I had a fan hold the chair.
BPW. Oh! The carnage. Don Tony's got a ladder.
None of that.
I got a ladder.
Raining here, Earl. Is it raining? He's got it up. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna leave a mark. Sabotage taking a beating at the hands of Flex and Jay Lover. Tony Lowe scurrying around. Oh. Get Tony Lowe running around. Don Tony's got so many toys.
Here we go.
Oh, there's actual wrestling going on. Oh my gosh, this cannot be good.
What is this? He's back. He's up high.
A power bomb, he's setting him up.
Getting my ass kicked outside the ring.
Flex, there's not a line.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, Don Tony hitting Tony Lowe. Oh my
And
God.
he had to take that big
Look at
man
that
down.
ladder. It's like
Oh no!
6 feet high.
An ominous ladder.
Look at that ladder. It's so high for Sabotage.
He is not going to do what I think he's
Oh
going to
my
do.
God. He might be like 10 feet in the air, Earl. Oh my God. The fans are scared. The high risk.
He is not. No.
No.
I'm gonna get laid out.
Oh my God. The ladder did not hold. Oh my gosh. The high risk
Landed right on my
by
face.
Sabotage. The ladder took a beating. And so did everyone else who broke the fall. What is going on here? Sabotage. What is this?
Oh, there's Mousetrap.
They got mouse traps. Mouse traps, Earl. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We will. This is carnage.
We don't know when this is going to be over. This is horrid.
This is PG-13, Earl. Is it raining out here? Why does Flex have that? Oh my. Oh no, it's not over. The mouse traps are still there.
Yeah, but I heard some snaps.
Oh man, what
I don't know what.
Oh, oh no, not yet.
There is.
Oh,
He's moving those mouse traps.
oh, the mouse traps are going. Oh no. Oh no, Earl. I have never seen this.
I had to move out of the way. I was going to dive into the crowd, but it was too risky.
Oh, sabotage! He is not a mouse.
No, no, please.
Oh no! He's fighting it. Jay Lover. Jay Lover taking it. Headbutt. Ah! To the mouse traps. Oh my God. This is. Oh my God. I have never seen.
Unbelievable. Close your
Second
eyes.
year anniversary
Close
main
your eyes,
event.
fans.
I'm going to get bubble wrap wrapped around my head.
He's not gonna.
Oh, he drops him like a bad habit. 1, 2, 3, it's over.
Did you see him dropping?
Oh, he's wrapping him in.
Don't tell his face.
But it's over. Joe's so delicious, just wrapping him in bubble wrap. And he's going to pop it on him.
Don Tony and
Who's
Jay
gonna-
Lover, the victor.
Your winners, Jay Lover, Danny Flex, and Don Tony.
What a match. What a main event. Hardcore to the fullest. DPW can do it. We've got it all here. Second year anniversary.
Yeah, that's it.
Unbelievable action.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let me fix your screen a little bit. So hang on a second. Yeah, that's going to have to do for. Actually, no, I could do that. That's all right. So there you go. That was one of my 3 matches, and put one in the win column for the good guys. So, like I said, you know, my stuff wasn't very good, but I tried. I would do it again, you know, but like I said, you know, I obviously would want to get into better shape. And, you know, I want it to mean something. I don't want to do it just because, remember, you do it, you might be taking someone else's spot, and I don't want to do that. So, but there you go. So a lot of you that wanted to see a little bit of yours truly inside the ring, I wanted to do that dive, man. I was going to do it. And I was going to do it into the crowd. You'll actually see I'm like telling people to move out of the way. But, you know, the guy that runs the place who's around ringside, he's like, no, don't do that. In fact, you know, a lot of people don't know this. But you may ask, you know, why did I stop? You know, some of you have asked. And it wasn't that I just decided, I don't want to do it anymore. The truth is, after that match, the people who own that VPW were very, very pissed off. Because if you saw early, remember I showed you I hit Tony low over the head, I broke glass over his head? It's family-friendly entertainment. If you look at the crowd, it's a lot of children. That's why they were even joking with the PG-13 comment. They didn't want ultra-violent stuff. Jay Lover is, you know, big with the violent matches. That guy is serious shit. He knows what he's doing. And we went to Home Depot earlier in the day, bought plywood, mouse traps, glue, bought other trinkets. We spent the day going to 99-cent stores looking to buy like cheap things that would sound great if you cracked it over somebody's head. And the people that own that VPW were very, very pissed off about the type of match that we did. I was the owner of the Fed at that time. I was on the phone with him for about 6 or 7 hours. I'm not kidding. He did not want to bring back Jay Lover after that. And I basically told him, I said, if you're not bringing him back, then I'm not coming back either. And, I think I worked 1 or 2 more shows after that, because I have yet to show you the match with Shark Boy, where I actually threw him Budweisers and I made a whole cooler with Shark Boy, just like the Austin stuff. So I'll show you that one. I got to find that video. I haven't found it yet, but I actually managed Shark Boy one show, and I'm actually tossing him Budweisers. It had Shark Boy logo on it instead, so that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, but you know, they did not want a hardcore match like that, and they felt it went a little bit overboard. They were actually very pissed that I threw their garbage pail in the ring. I mean, it's a fucking garbage pail. So, true story, absolutely true. So, but I hope you liked it. I hope you liked it. You know, I just wanted to share it because a lot of people, I wasn't planning on putting any of this online this week, but I got enough emails, and I always try to appease everyone. You know, not everybody's going to like every little thing that you do on the show, but I try to please everybody. So anyway, with that said, I am going to start wrapping this up because it is midnight over here. And again, tomorrow morning between 7:30 and 9:30, I have Mattress Firm coming over, putting in a new mattress, and they talked me into getting one of those adjustable frames, you know, it lifts your head or your feet or your hip. So, you know, this is a big deal because I have a very difficult time sleeping, and they're coming tomorrow morning. So I have to be up bright and early to get that stuff. Tony Gloss, I'm looking forward to seeing the XPW Dark Side of the Ring, but from what I understand, it is very sensationalized. They focused more about the Rob Black stuff and Messiah than anything else. A few people were lobbying for me to, you know, get interviewed because there's a lot of things that I witnessed myself, especially the politics on the Northeast. See, that's one thing, and I don't ever, if you notice, yeah, I talk about myself a lot, but if you notice, I never over-exaggerate things. But the one thing about XPW coming to Philly that, you know, people don't realize is that everybody in XPW is West Coast. Rob Black, West Coast. Kevin Kleinrock, West Coast. Everybody else, Kingdom James, I think, was also West Coast. Kingdom James, good people, man. I miss talking to that guy. Very, very cool guy. Hope he's doing okay. If any of you out there know Kingdom James, please send my love to him. Just tell him Anthony from New York with the XPW stuff. Really good guy. I tried to get him work with Frank Goodman back in the day. But everybody that was involved in XPW was West Coast. And the only people really that was dealing with the East Coast bullshit was myself and Slash. And, you know, just the politics that were going on, and porn is coming to your neighborhood and all that horrible shit. I guess it just wasn't sexy enough for this broadcast, you know? So it is what it is. But, yeah. So, no, I'm not a part of that, but it's all good. It's all good. I might have even considered turning it down unless, you know, they really wanted some good stuff. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here, everyone. So, porn isn't sexy. No. It was just the politics of everybody in the Northeast. You know, you think they want to throw shade at Ring of Honor? I mean, granted, the people that own Ring of Honor now are not the same people that own Ring of Honor in 2002. But the bullshit that went down in 2002 with Ring of Honor basically like banning wrestlers from working their shows because they wanted to do a show with XPW. I'll never forget that. I will never forget. And I guess it's okay for me to tell this story because I've told it before. Some of you may remember Boogaloo and Lowrider that wrestled in Ring of Honor. Boogaloo and Lowrider. And they were working Ring of Honor at that time. XPW wanted them to work a match in XPW as the Dead Presidents. And what happened was we got them to take on, Was it the Dead Presidents? Yeah, I think it was the Dead Presidents. Yeah, it was the Dead Presidents. We got them a match, I think, to take on Halloween and Damien 666. Mexico's Most Wanted. And Ring of Honor told Boogaloo and Lowrider, you're not welcome in Ring of Honor anymore. And I will never forget, I still see it clear as day, being in Slash's house in Long Island, New York, I don't want to say what town, and being there with Boogaloo, and Lowrider was on the phone, and basically all they were trying to do is get some extra money, for their family. They had responsibilities. They weren't trying to hurt Ring of Honor in any way. They just wanted to work a match for a nice payday. And Ring of Honor was pulling that political shit, saying, you're not welcome in Ring of Honor anymore. And then that's why in 2002 you had I think it was the CZW ROH feud. That happened in 2002 because they were trying to join together to offset XPW. That's God honest truth. So there was a lot of political stuff. I was in that building. In fact, I brought this up last year. A lot of you know Bill Apter, legend, Hall of Famer, wonderful man. Bill Apter, Pro Wrestling Illustrated photographer, OneWrestling.com. And after XPW's first show, when Terry Funk sliced his arm open and then he pile drove Lizzie Borden and pulled her panties off and then pile drove her, State Athletic Commission in Philly wanted to basically ban XPW. State Athletic Commission requested an emergency meeting with all the promotions that do shows in Philly. So I believe it was a Saturday, and people from WWE, XPW, CZW, Ring of Honor, and I think 3PW. 3PW may have been there as well. They were all going to this meeting. Bill Apter offered to try to get involved and smooth this out a little bit. And I still remember to this day, we were in the ECW arena on a Saturday afternoon. It was just myself, Shane Douglas, Bill Apter, and like 3 other people. And there was going to be this big meeting with the State Athletic Commission. And Bill Apter was trying to, smooth things out, to try to calm some of this friction down. And I met Bill Apter again at the big event last year, right before COVID shut everything down. I went to the big event. I hung out with Mitch and a few others. And Bill Apter was there. And I went up to Bill Apter and I said hello. And he's like, I know who you are. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I mentioned XPW. And he's like, I still remember that day with the State Athletic Commission. And it just blew me away. Mitch was standing right there, that he remembered the XPW stuff I did. He knew about the podcast. And it felt good. I mean, it was really cool. Bill Apter is one of the most genuinely beloved people in wrestling. I don't know anybody that dislikes Bill Apter. Wonderful man. But the guy did not work for XPW. And he offered to try to get involved to try to smooth things out. And I will never forget that, how he really stepped up that Saturday afternoon. And they said, no, it's better you don't get involved with it. So, but yeah, Joe D says, sounds like something happened with him in a band in 2002. Promoter said if he played a show for a certain promoter, you're not welcome. Look, I could see if somebody stabbed you in the back. But Boogaloo and Lowrider were not stabbing Ring of Honor in the back. They just wanted a nice payday. That's it, plain and simple. And, what pissed me off at that time is Ring of Honor. Got to remember, this is 2002. Ring of Honor was still new. And it was all about respect, honor, holding the ring rope tradition. And they played off in public that they were all about respect and this, that. And behind the scenes, they were scumbags. They were big-time scumbags. There was a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that no one knows about. But again, that's not sexy enough to put on Dark Side of the Ring. And ain't no way they're going to start throwing shade like this. But look, there's so many other stories I could bring up with this, but, you know, it's not going to, it's, again, you could exaggerate it and make it sexy for TV, but I'd rather be authentic and be a little bit more boring than to lie to you and make it sound bigger than what it was. So, no news on Keith Lee yet, but I hear that something is going down very, very soon, like within the next week or two. So expect. Like I said before, I actually would love to see him back in NXT. I think Keith Lee is better suited in NXT than Raw or SmackDown right now, but we'll see what happens. So everyone, I'm at exactly at the 2-hour mark, so I'm going to jet out of here. If you don't mind, I know I ask it a trillion times, but it is the first time I'm asking for it tonight. I know it's got the wrong logo because I was using the template from yesterday because it was just easier for me to use yesterday's template. I fell asleep today. I got up late and I was scrambling to get the show ready. So we didn't have any glitches for the most part. But hit that like button on the way out. The more you do that, the more that tells YouTube you enjoy the show, and they'll recommend it to others, and that really helps me a great deal. So thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Pleasure as always. Loved it. So if you're around tomorrow night right after SmackDown, join me, 10:05 p.m. Eastern here. We'll review SmackDown. We'll get into any updates for WrestleMania Backlash. I'm going to watch the Brian Pillman Dark Side of the Ring tonight before I fall asleep. So I will talk about that tomorrow too, and we'll get into the ratings breakdown for AEW and NXT. So much love, everyone. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow night, 10:05 p.m. Be well, everybody. Take care.